We are now in part 2 of Unit 3 of Software Asset Management. This part deals with compliance. Software compliance includes licensing compliance, security compliance, policy and procedure compliance, and standards compliance. Licensing compliance ensures that the use of all software within the organization remains within all legal and contractual terms. Security compliance ensures that software policies are consistent with security policies and plans. For example, policies related to data protection, privacy, data regulation, data leakage prevention, data encryption. If that is not done by software, it can result in poor quality of the software functioning. Then we have policy and procedure compliance, and we have which is ensuring that SAM policies are consistent with corporate policies, strategies, and plans. And then we have standards compliance, which ensures that SAM policies and procedures comply with adopted standards such as CMM and COBIT, the capability maturity model, the 5-layered model of services and knowledge management, and COBIT, which is the control objectives in IT, which is a framework for IT governance or INT governance. For example, COBIT requires alignment between digital investments and business strategy. The definition of compliance is conformity in fulfilling official requirements such as laws, regulation, standard, and contractual clauses. Compliance is a major risk area within software asset management and is a key driver in any SAM approach. The objective of license compliance process is to ensure all purchased software assets used by the organization are properly licensed and used in accordance with its terms and conditions. Compliance is achieved by legally acquiring and configuring a genuine copy of a product according to copyright in accordance with the license terms and conditions specified by the copyright holder. The user organization needs to prove compliance through documentation of every purchase. Compliance enforcement is driven in an organization through processes and procedures and aligning compliance results with the detailed documentation related to legislation, contracts, and licenses. We take a look at licensing compliance. This is the identification, alerting, capture, and resolution of all exceptions, conditions, and non-conformance in relation to the use of unlicensed software. These can include identification and review of all changes in the software within the organization, ensuring that they are within current licensing agreements. Secondly, interception of any SAM abnormalities recorded by the service desk, incident management, security management, release management, and deployment management, or any other processes. For example, users may report license-related issues. There may be incidents due to expired licenses like logins not working or security functionalities are stopping. Even error codes could pop up on the user screens, or deployment and release are not possible due to shortage of licenses. So such things will be understood and can be avoided. Interception and detection of any unapproved software purchases. This can be the shadow IT situation wherein decentralized departments purchase software on their own without a centralized department policy, or even if there's a centralized policy, these decentralized departments are purchasing without adhering to those common criteria or policies. Then we have security compliance. This is compliance with security policies and standards which ensure the software policies are consistent with security policies and plans. All security patches are being applied promptly to all relevant machines, and access to software and data is enforced and corroborated where licensing or inventory reports can help. Corroboration means to strengthen. So here the license data and reports can show the weaknesses in enforcement. For example, certain data is not protected in the best way, thereby prompting better access authentications. Policy and procedures compliance. This is about compliance with all other significant policies and procedures, including SAM related, and ensure that SAM policies are consistent with all other corporate policies and strategies. The impact of non-compliance to the organization or individual is well communicated to all employees, such as loss of job. So here, by the previous one, the SAM policies, consistency with the other corporate policy, it can mean corporate policies related to info security, or information security, or time-phased budgetary limits policies, or purchasing policies for who are the qualified vendors, or the policies for the vendor selection, and so on. Also, here we have implementation of all cost justifiable preventive mechanisms, such as preventing unauthorized software downloads from the internet and preventing attachment of certain file types to emails. Software licenses are the rights to use software with certain terms and conditions attached. The rights to use software are totally separate from the legal rights to the software itself, to the ownership of the software itself, that is. This is normally kept by the software manufacturer or other third party for the ownership itself. Licenses may be bought or may be free subject to special terms and conditions. Even open source software normally has a license even though payment may not be required. What these mean is the free or open source software cannot be modified or sold, and sometimes they can be used only for individual use and not business, and so on. So such conditions need to be complied with.